Hello and welcome to another review by DWC, and this time we're on the good, the bad and the ugly. And this is an aircraft I spoke about a little while ago when I reviewed the Legion P51C, and this is their new mould P51D, and this could be a bit of a horror story. So stick with me, let's get in there and have a look. So let's talk a little bit about Legion to start with. So Legion are a budget-friendly model maker derived from Panzerkampf, who makes some fantastic modern jets and Cold War jets. And they sort of snuck into the market doing an IL-2, Focke-Wulf, P-51C, P-40, Spitfire 5, Stuka, I might have missed one. And of course, this is their newest mould, a P-51D. And a lot of their stuff derives from the Amicom range, which was a magazine range. And this one is a new mould. So let's get in and have a look. Obviously, a very cheap box. Nothing wrong with that because, you know, who wants a box? We just want the actual model itself. There we go. It comes nice and simply. And in the box, we have a bag full of goodies, including the earlier style P-51D drop tanks. Of course, it's very similar to a Hobby Master style stand. And of course, the model itself. And at first impressions, really, really good. So we look at the actual model. The model, if I need to get a knife there to cut the plastic, the sellotape on the side. And let's talk about how much this costs. It was only 25 quid. I got this off of AliExpress of all places. And the first impressions, the actual finish, is really good. And it's an unusual weathering technique they use. They generally paint the aircraft and then weather it after. So no sort of highlighting, which is the general sort of modeller's way. But overall, that looks really nice, doesn't it? In terms of the actual finish of the aircraft, nice shiny surface, no blemishes. I think it looks good. However, let's get into the model itself. So let's start with a bit that just gets my goat, and that is the canopy. I don't know if you can see that. Should be a flush line along there. I have no idea what they've done here. My suspicion, and maybe it's just a suspicion, because you've got the fillet, so the actual fillet's in place. Have they used the P51B and then sort of shoehorned a canopy onto it to make it look like a P51D? It looks a little bit high, to be fair. It just looks wrong. Looks very wrong in many ways. The propeller is without doubt the P51B propeller. Same style, Amicom tooling at the front there. Just looks a bit cheap. But the other boo-boo is the wing. So I don't know if you can notice. Twin cannons, so it's got a BC wing rather than a P-51D wing. Not the biggest mistake in the world, but just not great at all, really, is it? But look, on the positive side, it looks well painted. The finish is nice. It's an unusual aircraft in terms of the squadron I don't have. But let's get her on her stand and see what she looks like. So here she is on her stand, and just looking at that angle, it just looks so wrong. And look, I know Dragon and then Corgi have raised the bar incredibly high with the P-51 Mustang. It just looks so poor from that angle. No idea what is going on or what was going through their mind when they designed that. It's just such a big error, and it's a shame because if they get the canopy right and they get the wing right, overall, you haven't got a bad Mustang, but that just looks so poor. It is a monstrosity in that sense. And the annoying thing for me is that the finish is really encouraging. I like the way it looks. No, they've covered a subject that's not been done before. Frustrated with the other releases, if I was to be really honest with you. An RAF Mustang, which has been done before, and a Tuskegee aircraft that's been done before. But it had so much potential. So I'm going to get her now on her undercarriage and see if we can find a little bit of history about this aircraft as well. So here she is on her undercarriage. Had a lot of trouble getting the up undercarriage out as pictured here. It's a real pain in the backside, as was the Legion Corsair as well. But this is Lieutenant Colonel Glenn Eagleston's aircraft, Feeble Eagle, here pictured at Lashington in 1944, I believe, which is of course now Headcorn, which is hosting an air show relatively soon in the next sort of 3 weeks or so, with a number of Mustangs actually, in fact. For those who've got the Corgi P-47, they obviously do the Glenn Eagleston version of that as well. So Glenn Eagleston shot down 18.5 victories, with a further 5 ground victories plus probably more. It's obviously very difficult to confirm them. So a real ace as such. He flew all the way through from Boxstead to Lashington and then in the landing grounds in Normandy before moving to Belgium and being involved obviously in the crossing of the Rhine and of course Operation Market Garden as well. So, and yeah, so he's on its undercarriage as you can see. Doesn't look too bad, and with a lot of Mustangs you do get problems with undercarriage. This is actually pretty solid in all fairness to it. So if there is a positive again, the undercarriage fitting is pretty decent. But again, I just can't get over the canopy being completely, am I allowed to say shit? Yeah, I will say shit. It's just really poor considering, and it's not something they can do in terms of making a new part for it. The aircraft itself has been tooled the wrong way and is going to be completely unsalvageable, I think would probably be the best way of putting it. They need to completely retool it in order to make it better, which is such a shame because actually it doesn't look too bad, and will probably, you know, be a filler on your shelves and collections at home, but towards the back of the shelf I would imagine. It's just a real shame because at £25 a pop this aircraft is well worth its money. It's just a shame that they've got it so horribly wrong. But there you go. That's Diecast for you. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this review of unusually a really poor aircraft. But it's something that I'll probably look at getting maybe 1 or 2 of the schemes that have never been done. So there's a Chinese one there, and if I can get it cheap, I will pick it up, which is mental because I'm a full collectorholic. So that's what I do, unfortunately.